Today is a conversation with a true freshman in the NCAA who is on his way to becoming one of the greatest runners in NCAA history. His name is Tayvon Kitchen, and within the last few weeks, he's run 13:19 in the 5K, which is the fastest 5K ever run by a true freshman. And if we wind the clock back to this past fall, he placed 32nd in the NCAA Cross Country National 10K meet. And if we flip the clock back to this past fall to the NCAA Cross Country meet, in his first ever cross-country national meet and his first time running a 10K at the national stage, he placed 32nd in the country, which was a remarkable performance. And he led on almost half of that race, which we go into in this race: his fearless mentality, his gutsy racing, the difference between his high school training and his collegiate training, having a coach like the legendary coach Ed Estone, his plans for the NCAA indoor championship meet if he thinks he can win, his future ambitions in the sport, and so many other things. If you enjoy this one, the easiest thing you can do to help us out is share it with a friend, because if you enjoy it, why not share the love? Why not spread the love? Give us a 5-star review. It takes next to no time. And make sure you are following the podcast so you never miss another conversation like this one. With all these notes aside, enjoy the wisdom, the stories, the legend, the aura of the man of the hour, Tayvon Kitchen. Tayvon Kitchen, Tayvon, as people like to call you, even though that's not grammatically correct. Welcome back to the podcast. Two things, man. Leading NCAAs in cross as a true freshman, and then running 13:19. I think your homecoming is here in the NCAA. How do you feel about it?
Feeling good. Thank you, Dominic. Yeah, I'm happy to be back on. It's been a good year so far.
We last spoke in the midst of your senior track season. You and Josiah were kind of ripping it up, and the jump between high school and college a lot of times is a big one for a lot of people. You can do what you and Josiah did in high school, kind of be the ones with the target on your back, show up to every race, know that you can win either by front running or by kicking. College is a different ball game. You'll have people better than you in nearly every skill set because you're underdeveloped, which is okay. Where'd you get the balls to lead the entire country in NCAA cross?
Well, looking back on my high school career, all of the races that I didn't really put myself in or didn't really push things were my worst races. Like Arcadia, I just let it go slow, or I don't know. I think when you put yourself in a race and just put yourself out there, you have to live up to that. And so I think that's part of it, but I think another part of it was just luck. I got out really well, and I got into the front, and it's hard to give up a lead if you're up there. I think in high school I was taught once you take the lead, don't give it up, and so I was in the lead and just decided to stay there. No reason not to. I felt good, and I felt like I could, if you believe in yourself and believe that you can belong in that group of people, then I think it's you're going to do a lot better.
Did you at any point pass your coach Ed Estone, and if so, was he screaming at you to maybe fall back a little bit?
It was a very noisy meet or race, so I don't think I ever remember hearing him say something or seeing him. And he was definitely probably screaming at me to get out of the lead, but it's kind of in the zone. Didn't really hear. There's all of it just blended together, all of the crowd and the cheering.
I was at NCAA Cross, the only one I've ever been to, 2019, Terre Haute, freezing rain. NAU was going for, I want to say their fourth chip in 4 years. BYU shows up, spoils the party. They win the race. I remember in post-race interviews, specifically because it was a bad conditions day, the teams that got out hard were the teams that won. And this is the case of a lot of NCAA championships. You do have to get out really, really hard. And a lot of times the placements and the movements between teams don't go that crazy. I feel like BYU generally in years past at NCAA championships runs hard from the gun and tries to kind of just maintain position. Did that in any way play into your strategy of getting out hard, and then you just happen to find yourself at the front of the pack?
Yeah, I think cross is different from track races. You have to get out hard because there's just so many so many people, so many bodies that you have to get by, and especially in bad conditions. If it gets muddy, if you're in the back of a group, you're not getting out of there. You're not moving up. It's going to be impossible. So, um, and I think Estone does a really good job of coaching cross. I think he was bronze medalist at World Cross like back in the 80s or something. So, knowing that you need to get out really strong and cross and put yourself up there, it's kind of just part of the BYU training. Like we'll do workouts on the grass where we'll have quick starts and we'll go out hard first 400 and then ease back into race pace. And just being able to know that I can get out and be in the front of the pack, I think that's like the biggest thing. Like by the time you're 800 meters into the race, if you're in the lead pack or you're in the front, you don't have anything to worry about. You can just keep race from there.
Something that I've always seen, or I guess in reflection, watching the NCAA meet, watching freshmen compete, and you can watch you guys through like the 5K split, and you can think like, oh, this is like just as fast as he came through the finish line at NXN, and he still has a whole nother 5K to go. Do you ever think about those massive jumps senior year to freshman year, whether you yourself experienced it or even just like studying the sport, talking to teammates? And what would you say are those biggest differentiating markers that make you that much better year over year, senior year of high school to freshman year of college?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the most like special special part of the sport. Is it's just about growth, and just getting better. And you can look back and be like, oh wow, I made a big jump, or this race I ran my PR through 3,200 meters back in high school or something like that. And I think that's what makes the sport special, is just being able to see that growth and those changes. I think like during Christmas break, I went back home for a couple weeks, and training back home, I'd be running my old like tempo loops and my old like beyond the old track and everything. And you can just see how far you've come. Like just going back home, I'd be at my old spots running way faster and feeling way better. And it's crazy to see like year after year how much you can improve if you just stay consistent and keep building on like your previous years.
In terms of the training, I know you trained really hard at Crater. Obviously, you had really, really good teammates back in the day. What was it? I'm totally blanking on his name, so apologies if you're listening. I think he was my class. Who was the kid a few years older than you? Yeah, Tyrone was a stud, and then you trained with Josiah, obviously, and your coach was a really remarkable coach. I know you guys trained really hard, but college is a different beast. What would you say are the biggest differences in training, high school to college?
Probably volume. I think it depends on what program you go to, but no matter where you go, college is a change. You got more support systems, like things are built around you better. Sometimes like different warm-up routines, all that kind of stuff. But the biggest thing is in college, you're going to run more miles and your workouts are going to be a lot longer, I think. And I think that applies to pretty much anyone in high school. So be ready to run really long workouts. And I guess you're switching to 10K, so you kind of have to. But
was there a specific workout early on that humbled you and made you realize you were in the big leagues now?
Yeah. So we do a workout called Hobble Creek. I don't know, maybe you've heard of it. They have like videos of it. It's like an 8-mile uphill tempo. And as you go, it gets more uphill. So like the first couple miles are like slightly uphill, and then the last like 3, you gain like over 100 feet per mile. I think it's 8 miles and like 900 feet a gain or something like that. And I went out and just got obliterated. Basically, I think I stopped like 4 or 5 times. It was not fun. It was terrible. But yeah, that was probably the biggest humbling experience. It's just, showing up to that one. It's like, oh, this is going to be great. And then I think I made it through like 4 miles with like the lead pack, and then from then on it was just getting dropped more and more. Because usually what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to like start off kind of chill and then speed up as it gets hillier. So like the last couple miles are supposed to be your fastest, and I think the last mile I probably stopped like 4 times alone on. It was terrible. I was dying.
I know that's the type of thing that's can be humiliating in your head, and you play it time and time again. And had this happen, and do I have no fitness? What was kind of the mental bounce back for you from that low moment?
Yeah, I was pretty upset after that. Because you want to believe the highest of yourself, and your teammates and your coach believe high of you that you can be good too, and that was like a big fail for me. And I remember going to Estone after that workout, and I was like, "That's never happening again. Like that will never happen again." And the next time we did hobble, I was I came through with the leaders. I was finished up front. So um, just knowing like you can fail and you can have like bad workouts, but it's about this is the last time that's gonna happen. Like I'm not now that it happened one time, but it's never happening again.
What do you think
And I
was
think
be?
that's
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
no. I was just gonna say that's probably how I bounced back. I don't know. It was also early in the season, so like I was probably really down on myself about it, but like most of the team was like, "Oh yeah, everybody's first time doing hobble was the exact same as yours." So it was good to hear that like some of the best athletes at BYU's has had terrible days on their first hobble. So
Do you think that, like, quote unquote, it not being successful the first time was due to lack of fitness, mindset, going out too hot, just an off day? Like, how do you break that down?
well, this is embarrassing, but I was not stopping like because I was tired. I was stopping to throw up or go to the bathroom because my stomach was wrecked. And so yeah, kind of just pulling off the side, pulling the shorts down or whatever it was. Um, but so I think maybe mindset, also just not being prepared, like with I don't know my stomach, and yeah, also it's just hard. Like you, it's like the workout where you're gonna hurt the most.
Too much bicarb in the system?
No bicarb, but yeah, the same results, I guess. Yeah, too much bicarb.
I'm not entirely sure. I'm assuming Oregon is flat, not at altitude, certainly not the altitude of Provo. Was the altitude much of an adjustment in those early days, early workouts?
Yeah, crater is like 1,000 feet maybe, so not at altitude at all. Um, it was I got here, and the first thing I would like tell to the team and everyone is like altitude's not real. I don't believe in altitude, and that's kind of just that was like my mantra for like the whole summer, and I think it ended up kind of fulfilling itself because I never I never really noticed it that much. Like workouts were harder and things were definitely more difficult, but I think that also just comes with college training. Things are going to be harder. So I was just telling myself the altitude wasn't real, and it wasn't. I was fine.
What was the biggest in your mind, like, shift that you had to make, whether it was now having like college classes or having to eat more or having to run more miles or more doubles? Like, what is, if you had to pin it down to one thing, what's the biggest change?
The biggest change for college. Whew, I don't know. What do you think it would be? I don't know. What do you think? What are your guesses, I
Oh, if I
guess?
had to guess, I would
Yeah.
guess I mean, you trained with Josiah, but I feel like the biggest response I hear is like you're no longer the crap. Like you're just one of 10 guys who happens to be really, really good. And it's not just that for training and workouts, but it's also that for races. Like you go from leading packs to being, I guess maybe not in your case, but being buried in packs and being like, oh my gosh, like I had this expectation in high school that I was the best. I knew I'd be humbled, but maybe I didn't feel like it would be like this.
Not to say that like you don't get humbled, because you do. And it's definitely an adjustment, but for me, like I wanted to hold on to that expectation of myself that I was the best and that I would, um, you know, beat people or be good or not be humbled. And um, yeah, I think like in cross country season, if we would do workouts and stuff, and I would try and lead the workouts or push pace in the tempo, or you know put a surge on in the last rep or whatever it is, and kind of like holding on to that self-belief that I had in high school, that I was one of the best and that I could compete with anyone in college even. I think you have to have that. You have to continue holding that belief if you want to make a jump, because um, most people wait for like evidence. They wait for evidence before they believe in themselves. And I just decided to believe in myself first, believe that I would be the best, and kind of let the proof come after. And if you like kind of change your mindset to believe, or I think another big thing, the whole reason why I came to BYU, or probably one of the biggest reasons. Have you ever heard of the Pygmalion effect?
Yeah, you'll have to remind me what it is, but for sure I've heard of it.
Okay, yeah, it's a psychology test that they did, where these people came to these schools, and I might be missing like slightly exactly what it is, but they came to these schools and they told these teachers that they were going to administer tests on all of the students, just like this, not really IQ test, but kind of like intelligence test. And the exact study has been like replicated like probably hundreds of times, and same results every time. And they administered these like fake tests. They weren't real tests, but they administered these tests and then randomly selected maybe like 5 students out of 200 or something, and told the teachers that these students were gifted, that they were like super intelligent or super smart. And then it's like a long-term study. Then they'd leave and they'd come back years later, like the end of elementary school or like the end of high school, or even that same year. And in like almost 100% of the time, the students that they told the teachers were gifted and talented were like the top of the class. They were like the valedictorians. They scored the highest on tests. They had the best grades, all of that. And they were just randomly selected. There wasn't a real test. They weren't actually gifted or any different than any other student. But because the teachers believed that they were gifted, the teachers had higher expectations of those students. The teachers, made them do harder math, or like gave them harder assignments, or whatever it is, because the teachers thought that they were smarter. And it forced those students to change, like to make the jump to those expectations. And then by the end, years later, just because of the belief that the teachers had in the students, the students made the jump where they actually were smarter. They actually were better at math, better at science, and better at reading. And all across the board, it was just because of the teacher's belief in them. And I think that's probably like my favorite part about Ed Estone as a coach. And I think it's doubly true for athletics. When a coach believes in you, or like has expectations of you that are maybe even above your own, I think that's when you're going to make the biggest jumps, because you have to live up to those expectations. And so coming here, um, I chose to come here because Ed Estone, like he expressed this like belief in me that I hadn't really seen. And being here, like even over the summer, we do workouts, and Estone almost like expected me to since I was so good in high school, I would be at the top of the workouts. I would be in the top group. I would be pushing the pace, and he expected this out of me. And so my teammates expected me to be in the front and be pushing the pace, and I had to live up to those expectations. I had to make the jump in order to be that person who is as talented as they thought I was. And so that kind of changed my self-belief. And I think that's probably like the most valuable thing, I think, in college or even in athletics in general, is having that self-belief and having other people believe in you. And if you have those expectations that you're going to be great, or you're going to be the person who's pushing the pace, maybe not being humbled or being humbled, but still pushing and being up there, I think that's how you make the big jumps and become better.
He's a smart man, ladies and gentlemen. I can tell you that much.
That was a long rant. I'm sorry. Yeah, I feel like
no, it's very good, very substance packed. I mean, I think I talked to Coach Estone once on the podcast before. How he speaks, how he articulates his vision, his belief in his athletes, I think is special, and I think that's why people like Connor Manson, Clinton Young stick around to train with him even after their collegiate years, when they could debatably be coached or sponsored by anyone. And to that point, how often are you seeing those guys? How often do you train with them? And if not at all, regardless, how special is it to feel the ways that they've shifted the environment? Because I feel like BYU started to be viewed differently in the sport when those guys stuck around and started making teams and breaking American records and all of that.
Yeah. You'll see those guys around a lot. Clayton has been like a little bit injured, I think. But I'll see him after like his sauna sessions or some cross training session, and he's great. He like pushes himself so much. It's really impressive. And Mance, he did like a couple runs with us. And then he got like a little bit of injury, which he's just getting back from. So he started running with us a little more now. But yeah, those guys are big inspirations, super, super impressive. And I think you're right on the money. Like when you said they stick around because of like Istone's belief in them. And like just having someone that thinks you're going to be great or thinks you're going to be, top of the US or top of the world, whatever it is. You kind of got to stick to that person, because if they think you're going to be the best, then you want to see it to the end, see it to where you become on that level. But yeah, I can't wait to do more with those guys. The person we've done the most with so far is Casey Klinger. He's been crushing it on the roads recently. I think he's racing Tokyo in a couple weeks. And yeah, he's super fit right now, and we've been doing a lot of workouts with him. I think he ran like the second or third fastest American half marathon like a couple weeks ago, and that's where you get humbled when you try and stick a rep with Casey. That's when you're gonna get dropped, but it's a lot of fun.
I love this quote that you had after NCAAs, where you said you get so used to being in the front and doing stupid things at some point, so freshman year is the time to do it. Again, going back to some of our earlier conversation around sort of our greatest strengths are also our greatest weaknesses, right? Like I think your greatest strength is being fearless and almost reckless to a point, but it can also be reckless. How do you discern, whether or not to go balls to the wall when it works sometimes, and then other times it blows up in your face, and why you are doing it your freshman year to learn those valuable lessons?
Yeah. I don't know. It's like admirable, like people that will push it. Like I think about like Pre, and like there's so many other athletes that will just push things, and a lot of the time it doesn't work. They're gonna blow up, or they're not gonna win the race. But even if they don't, I have so much more respect for that person than the athlete that just sits in the pack and then kicks to victory. And it's still impressive. It's still crazy to see those athletes, and having a fast finish is really something that's awesome. But the athletes that just take things and push them and they blow up trying, or they drop the field and win, I think those athletes are the ones where you're like, wow, that person is special. That person wants this. They want it more than anyone else. They're hungry, and everyone's scared of them. You get on the line and you're like, oh, this person's gonna push it. Not today. I don't feel good today. I don't want to go out really hard, but they're gonna do that. And like those people are like the people who make changes in like the race, and they mix things up. And I think sometimes we get soft and we just let a race go slow, or let it become a kick. And I'm in college now, I'm thinking I don't ever want to be the person that lets a race go slow. Like, not because I don't think I can win in a kick, but because it's so much more meaningful to push your limits and like find where that line is. Like how far can you go? And you don't find that by just sitting around and waiting for someone else to take things. You got to go hard, go to the front, and make something happen. And I think that's a lot more special.
You mentioned Steve Prefontaine, obviously the legend from Oregon. You grew up in Oregon. I'm sure that name was etched in a deeper way than most people listening understand, coming from the state of Oregon. And you're breaking high school records nationally and state, left and right. So I think a lot of people saw that racing style and began to compare it to Pre. Do you feel like he's almost your guardian angel in some sense, coming that you are from Oregon?
Guardian angel. Well,
I don't know if that's the right term, but you know what I mean. Inspiration.
Inspiration. Yeah, I think he was a special guy. So, and I like the way. I mean, not just him, but like if you go back in the day, like Sebastian Coe and like other athletes that were back in that era, they were different. They didn't care about anyone in the field. They didn't care about pace. They didn't have like ceilings. That they didn't believe in, oh, this time is so impressive or whatever. They were just, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna run fast. And they just had this like untouchable self-belief. It was just so powerful. And I think, yeah, obviously you gotta look up to those people. Like anything you hear about someone like that, you're inspired by it and you want to become like that. So absolutely. Guardian angel, maybe not. I don't know if there's like, but definitely inspiration.
Yeah, guardian angel might be a stretch. I was trying to think of a cinematic term, something that was a little bit more than inspiration. Right. Maybe I went to the far extreme, but who knows? Maybe Pre's in a better place looking down from us. Who knows? Yeah. We'll know one day, hopefully. Yeah, that guy, I mean, how he raced, or another one of my inspirations was Emil Zatopek. I don't know if you know this guy. Have you ever heard of him?
No, I mean, I feel like I know a lot of.
Yeah, he's the only athlete to ever win the 5K, 10K, and a marathon in the same Olympics. But he's got this banger quote, which is
what year was this?
Oh gosh, let me look it up. With like 50s.
I might know who you're talking about now. I think, yeah, that's the triple is insane.
Yeah, born 1922, he won 3 gold medals at the 1952 Helsinki Olympics. He won the 5K, 10,000 meter races, and then on a last minute decision, competed in and won the marathon. His first ever. Wow. Imagine you win the 5K, 10K, last minute you decide to run your first ever marathon, and then you win. It says Zatopek was known for his unorthodox wheezing running style, which earned him the nickname the Locomotive. That's hard. He often trained in heavy army boots and practiced holding his breath until he passed out. Let's not do that, people.
Oh
listening.
My gosh.
But he had this banger quote, which was, it's at the borders of pain and suffering that the men are separated from the boys. Just love that.
All right. Yeah, I've heard that quote. It's a good one.
So you placed 32nd NCAA as freshman. I think a lot of people could view that, most people would view that as a success. I know you expect greatness out of yourself. Maybe you figure some things out that you want to do better. What were the conversations like in the down week after with Coach Estone or teammates, or even with yourself?
Well, I think the hardest thing was it wasn't the team day. It wasn't a good day for our team. Um, and like I think the team is like, the most important aspect of the sport. Like coming from a high school with a really good teammate, it's crazy how much better you can get by getting better with someone else. Because if you're just getting better by yourself, you push yourself and do more. But if you're getting like better with someone else, it's like, like the snow, it's like snowball effect. It's just going to build faster and faster because you're just working off of each other. So having like a bad day for the team and a couple of my teammates not really living up to their own expectations or what they thought they could do, I think um, it was nice to like be proud of myself and know that like I ran a hard race. Maybe didn't like place as high as I wanted to, but I ran it in a way that I could be proud of. Um, I could be proud of that, but I also, you know, we placed 11th as a team, and the year before we got first. So, just kind of stepping back with the team and being like, what do we need to change? What can we improve so that next year we are in that podium conversation, so that in the future we are not getting 11th. We're a team that's like fighting for the win, and I think that was kind of like the takeaway. It's like, okay, let's reset and let's go hard for indoor, build up strong, and then peak for outdoor, run really well there, and then next year, new people coming in, some people leaving, just be ready to take it to the next level.
You ultimately translate these things into the indoor season. You just ran 13:19 in the 5K, which how fast did you run in high school? You were like 13:55?
13:53.
Okay.
So my high school uh, 5K pursuits were unfortunately limited. Um, I got I ran a like 13:59 5K. I think maybe in June, but that race I came through 3K in 8:05, and 8:05 3K is like on pace for like 13:30. And I tripped in that race. So hit the ground. Well, I tripped on the rail trying to get behind another athlete. Skidded on the inside of the turf. Kind of laid there for a second, shocked. Got back up and kind of jogged in the rest of the race around 13:59. So, and then after that, I got injured. And then once I came back from my injury, I ran another 5K, which was like, it was like 6 days after a 2-week break. So 13:59 while tripping when I should have ran 13:30, and then 13:53 after just coming back from injury. So I had good 5Ks, and you got to be proud of those times, but I never really got to see my true potential in the 5K in high school, which is fine. It's exciting to just be able to do as much as I did accomplish in high school.
So the 5K redemption then is this 13:19. You put the pieces together. Unless something insane happens that's going to qualify you for the NCAA indoor meet, kind of continuing this historic run as a freshman. What does it feel like to run that time and take the people through the race, the result, and then ultimately the relief or excitement or whatever emotions you were feeling after you crossed the finish line?
Yeah, it was an interesting race. I didn't have the same um, like self-belief that I usually do. Maybe not self-belief, but I didn't race it the way that I usually race. I kind of was in the back, like in the second pack, getting buried, and um, I think like a mile into the race, I was like 7 seconds back from one of my teammates. So I was just like fully gapped in the second pack, and I kind of had to make a switch. I was like, all right, I gotta go. So almost the whole race was just me in no man's land chasing the lead pack, because I went out with the second pack, which was stupid, but I still ran really good, and caught up to my teammate, and we pushed each other a little bit the last K. So yeah, 13:19 is good. It's a good step. I think that like I'm fitter than that, and the way I raced it certainly didn't like add up to your best possible race when you just have to work like more than a mile just by yourself trying to chase people down. Um, but yeah, it's a super big step, and I think like the biggest thing going into the race for me, we have like a uh, I don't know, like a mental coach or whatever for the team. We'll meet with him, and talking with him. The biggest thing for this race was realizing that I've already made the jump. Like I've already, my workouts and my training has already shows that I'm faster than I've ever been. I can run a 13:15, 13:25K, whatever it is. My training shows that. So the racing is just me getting to prove that to myself, kind of see what I built. I already made the jump. I already did all of the work, and the race is just me getting to see how far I've come. And so kind of just channeling that, not really worrying about the result, just knowing that I've already basically ran a 13:19 5K. I'm fit enough to do that. So just going and being able to do it was a lot of fun. I was happy with it. I came across the line with my teammates and kind of just celebrated with my coach. Estone was super happy because he wanted us to. We had a good day. We had a school record in the mile, and then one of my teammates ran number 3 all time or number 3 for our school in the 3K, and then I ran our like second fastest 5K ever. So it was a good day. So Iceland was really happy, and it's good to see him. He like doesn't show as much emotion, and I think that's a good thing in a coach. But when you do see him like on top of the world, super excited or super nervous for races, it's special. You're like, okay, he's happy with us.
What would you say is the biggest difference between cross training and indoor training for you?
We don't. I mean, it's sad because I'm starting to get nervous. We do a lot of stuff on grass in for cross country. Just basically 60% of our workouts are on grass. We have like 2 parks that we'll run, and then every other workout's probably like I think we only went on the track one time during all of cross country season, which was a huge change for me because in high school we did a lot of stuff on the track during cross country season. But yeah, our field, the field that we do like all of our workouts on, the intramural field. Have you ever seen the like old YouTube video of
Big
like
time
10
by
by
1K? Yeah.
10 by 1K? Yeah, that field, it's like it's a giant pile of dirt right now, like bulldozers and like trucks all over. It's gone. So I mean, I don't know if it's gone permanently or if it's like coming back soon, but we ran by it the other day, and the whole team was just kind of in awe because that's like we probably worked out on that field once a week the whole cross season, sometimes twice a week. So hopefully that comes back. But I think yeah, the biggest training is like we went from doing a lot of stuff on grass to doing a lot of stuff on the track, like indoor track or outdoor track. And we have some of like the same kind of workouts, but overall, just kind of like switching those grass workouts onto the track. Like we do VO2 stuff on the grass. Now we do it on the track. It's like the same workout, but on a different surface, and we go a lot faster because it's on a different surface. So Yeah.
What, from my remembrance of my conversation with you and Josiah, you're more the strength guy. Josiah's more the speed guy. Indoor, I'm assuming there's some more track workouts. You getting fed to the wolves more often, or are you still hanging strong and trying to lead the pack?
Not yet. I'm hanging on. It's crazy to me, like to people out there. I don't know if it's creatine, which I started taking, or if it's I think creatine's probably like a miracle pill or whatever. It's like you definitely should hop on it if you're not on it. But I don't know if it was creatine or if it's just like base work really does matter, or maybe lifting. I started lifting, but I'm like faster than I've ever been, and I haven't been doing speed work. So coming off of cross country season and hitting the track and running like 25 200s or like really quick, it was kind of like a shock to me. I was like, I haven't even been doing that many strides. Like how am I faster? So yeah, I've been holding my own in track workouts. We did like a 12 by 400 with a minute rest, and then like 12 by 200 with like 2 minutes rest or something on the indoor track. And on the 200s, me and a couple of our teammates were kind of like racing them, and we were splitting like 25s on a couple of them, and I was just
Wow.
I was holding my own. I was holding my own. So I I think that hopefully the speed is still there. I think also BYU is such a strength based program. Like strength runs in the blood of all of my teammates. Uh, I actually have like decent speed here, which is funny because in high school, running with like Josiah and like some of my other teammates, I was like completely outmatched speed wise. But at least on the distance side of things, like I have pretty good speed for a lot of the guys. We also don't really train with the 800-meter squad as much. If we did, then I would be getting my butt handed to me. So yeah, but
I'm
today we got a 10 by 400 at 1500 pace. Um,
Ooh.
so yeah, and we got our um, newly titled mile school record holder who's going to be doing that with us. So we're all in for a treat, I guess.
Ask Carter. He's a fellow Oregon boy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, ask him about just on your warm up. Ask him about his cooldown at Brooks PR and what happened. Maybe the dumbest,
Okay.
maybe the
I'll
dumbest thing
ask
I've
him.
ever seen. He basically you didn't go to Brooks PR. There's this like there's a river adjacent to the track, and they were doing ice baths in it, like him, Connor, and Simeon, and he was thirsty, so he drank a ton of water from a lake in Seattle that he shouldn't have, and he was throwing up the rest of the day. And
Really?
yeah, and not able to enjoy anything. So quite the
Oh my.
story.
Oh.
He's a cool athlete
Oh.
though, because he was just good enough in high school to make those meets, but I feel like he's really come onto the scene in college, which is pretty cool. So I mean, you yourself, if you're looking at your 13-19, I could have this wrong, but Nico Young, he ran 13-22 as a true freshman, December 2021. Now Nico, has the American record indoors. I think he ran 12:45. Is it crazy to feel like you're on a similar path in terms of your future in the sport?
Yeah. It does. But yeah, like back to the belief thing. It's I mean, you also gotta believe that you can reach those heights, and I don't know. It is nice to know that like I'm on a trajectory that looks really good. It's also like more pressure. It's like you can't run this well and then be washed. So just really committing to it, and stay working hard, kind of stay consistent. But um, yeah, I mean, it's cool to see that those guys were once where I'm at, or running times like me. Interesting fact about the 13:19 5K. I came through 3,200 meters in 8:32, so a second faster than my high school PR, which is special. I was coming through 3,200 meters, and I look up and saw that, and I kind of didn't really realize anything, and I was like, wait, like that's my high school PR, and that felt easy. So it's cool to see you make the jump, and hopefully, a year from now, or even a couple races from now, I come through, 3K in my PR or whatever it is, and feel good and run an even faster time, because that's just how the sport works, and you're just going to keep on getting better every year. I think like Nico closes some of his 5K races like sub 4, and it's going to be special when you can get to that point where you're like, oh, like I'm running my mile PRs in my 5K.
Yeah, crazy what these professional runners do, and it's a similar jump, high school to college, and then college to professional. Just the way that these athletes go through splits in crazy times, and then their closing speed off of it is ridiculous. Like Hobbs Kessler, when he ran that world record 2K, I just talked to him, and I mean, to come through the mile and what he did, and then I think he closed in something ridiculous. Yeah, the closing speed on those guys is nuts. Final few questions. Obviously, Marco Langen, Hoptum Samuel, they're kind of leading the charge. Do you have that belief that you can maybe spoil the party come March, or what are the goals as you think of wrapping up your indoor season?
Yeah, I mean, like after that 5K, and kind of like after that meet in general, with Sam Ruth running like 3:48, he's a couple years younger than me. Cam Myers, he's like 2 months older than me only, I think. So he's like my age. He ran 7:27 the other day, won Wanamaker Mile. Just all of these people like close to my age or even younger than me, across the world, running this fast. It's kind of like there's a new standard. There's a new expectation on me and like on everyone. If 16-year-olds are out here running world competitive times, Cooper running 142, Jane on the women's side running, world competitive times at her age, it's there's like a new standard, and I'm trying to change that expectation that like what I'm doing now like is good, but there's people that are way better than me, and there's kind of like levels to it. So trying to see how I can like keep doing the things that I'm doing, the little steps, the same workouts that Isone's giving me, but also at the same time change my belief system, change thinking that like a 3:52 mile is impossible, or change thinking that a 13:10 5K is something like completely out of hand. Changing my belief so that I know that those things are possible, those things are reasonable even. I think that's the next step. Change what your like quote unquote normal is. Like the normal, the standard is different now. We with how good everyone is doing. I think you gotta throw like times out the window, because none of it really has like any real depth or meaning to it. You just have to forget about the end result and just focus on like how long can I run 61s for, or 62s, and realize that it's not an impossible task to run these times, because people can do it.
Final question for you. Our boy Josiah, you miss him. How often do you talk? And when's the collegiate matchup going to happen?
Oh, yeah, that's gonna be fun. Yeah, we talk pretty often. I think I got a text from him during this conversation. But I'll call him sometimes, and him and my other friend. Um, but yeah, collegiate matchup. I think he ran a decent mile the other day. So who knows? Like maybe a 3K soon, depending what he runs this season. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. Well, I'll make it a battle. Make it hard, make it a hard one, make it quick. So, see how far we've come. It'll be fun.
Well, Tayvon,
But yeah,
thank you so
I
much
miss
for
him
the.
a lot.
Yeah, he's a stud. We'll have to get you both back on the pod when you're back in Oregon together again. That was a fun pod. But
Yeah, that was a fun conversation.
yeah, appreciate you coming on the podcast. I think if you're listening, give us a review on Apple Podcasts, because I was looking in the last, like 2 of the last 5 5-star reviews, and they said get Tayvon Kitchen back on the pod. So I'm a man of the
Really?
people, apparently. Yeah, I guess you're a lot of people's favorite runner, which the times, the chops, the Prefontaine style. You just got to grow out a mullet, and I think you'll be set. But always appreciate the combos.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Slowly but surely. Appreciate you, man. Keep
Yeah.
crushing it, and stoked to see what you do the rest of the season.
I don't know about the mustache though. We might have a year or several years until we can manage that, but I'll do my best.